We are jumping into another conversation this morning, and it's all about consuming nutritious and healthy foods. This morning, I'm joined by Ashanti Garcia. She is a vegan and fasting coach, a virtual coach, and she joins us this morning with a few things on display, giving us an idea of how you can consume vegan meals that are also healthy and nutritious for you as well. Hi, Ashanti.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Now, this is a change of scenery. I know that you are known for various things related to health and wellness. We would recognize you in the yoga scene.
Yes.
I know that you recently traveled outside and you're sharing your gifts and your talents as well with other people outside across the world. But welcome back home.
Thank you.
And this morning we're going to be diving into a different type of meal, but I think one that is pretty common among people that try to jump into their health and fitness journeys. Overnight oats is a very popular type food or meal,
Yes.
but we're going to be giving them a vegan twist to that. Before we dive into what we're going to be making and how we will be making it, talk to us a bit about what you do as a vegan and fasting virtual coach.
Sure. So I guide women throughout any stage in the lifestyle to revolutionize their health, their fitness, their wellness using fasting protocols, as well as a vegan lifestyle. So veganism is not just about what you eat, but it's also the clothing you wear, the type of makeup that you wear, cruelty-free, all of those things, because a vegan lifestyle is really about not wanting to harm or kill or exploit animals. So that's what I help women to do live online.
I could tell you for sure that's very complex when we think about the separate aspect of consuming foods that are vegan friendly. When we think about the environment, when we think about the clothing, makeup, the type of utensils that you use, that's where it gets really tricky.
Yes.
And here in Belize, is that more challenging to incorporate that type of lifestyle?
I would say compared to other places, yes, but it's very doable. I've been vegan for 10 years now.
Wow.
And so back when I first became vegan in like 2015, it was much harder because the only type of like vegan milk or non-dairy milk was soy. Now we have so many other options. We have cashew, we have almond, we have rice milk, we have so many other options. So today it's much easier to be vegan in Belize compared to like 10 years prior.
I think that's an excellent point. I think, though, the next thing that people often say when it comes to incorporating these types of diets are, it's super expensive, girl. Like, just even eating healthy. People in the comment section, I hear you. I see what you're saying. You know, it's too expensive. I can't eat healthy, much less vegan. If we switch from regular dairy milk to nut milk, even, people tend to say that it's a lot more costly. So this morning we are going to show just how you can incorporate a vegan type of eating into your diets. That's pretty, I'd say, economically friendly this morning as well. Where do we begin and what are we making?
Well, today we are making banana overnight oats because bananas are always in season in Belize.
And
bananas are also very cheap.
Yes, I was going to say they are not expensive.
I thought it was a great way to showcase that you can be vegan and eat healthy on a budget.
All right. Where do we begin? And I'll start by saying we're not going to be here all day and all night so that you can get that overnight oats, but we're going to show you how to assemble it first.
So the first thing we need to do is grab a banana and then we mash the banana on the plate.
We have different types of bananas here, different phases of its life. We have a pretty firm one, and it also goes down where it gets a little bit more ripe. What would you recommend?
The ripest banana.
Okay, so I'll go with this one here. And this morning we're going to be doing it together, so we're going to make two separate ones.
Yep.
All right, let's begin.
So
I'll just
peel the banana.
All right.
And the good thing about this is that it's very quick and easy to make. It's basically food prep. And so once you make it in like 5 minutes or so, maybe max 10 minutes, you just set it in the fridge and it's all ready the next morning.
Is this like a common meal that you tend to make?
Not anymore, but I used to. I have other meals now that I really love, but this is like
so
very
I'll give you
good
a
for
fancy
people.
utensil to use.
So you can use this to mash.
If you don't have one of that, girl, get you a fork from your drawer, you know? We know that we use it that way anyways. So you
just mash the banana.
And this is why it's good when you get it super ripe.
Yes. And plus it will add like a natural sweetness to it. So if people are concerned
that's
about
true.
having too much of a glucose spike, then you don't have to add the additional sweetener. You can just use the natural sweetness from the banana.
So you guys know that I've been currently on my own health and wellness journey. What a lot of people don't know though is that I am insulin resistant. And so that basically means that my insulin levels doesn't really work for me. And so I almost kind of eat low glycemic,
Yes.
which is kind of like a diabetic as well. But it has severely helped me and some of my symptoms. I don't tend to eat bananas, but because I'm going to the gym later, I think this is going to be perfect for me to give me some energy and fuel for that leg D. So where do we go next?
So we just put the mashed banana in the jars.
Okay. All right.
And you brought up a good point about being low glycemic. So bananas are high on the glycemic index, but for people who want to eat fruit and they're glycemic, then they can swap the bananas with some type of berries. So strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, or blackberries, because those are much lower on the glycemic index.
And that raises a perfect point because then we can actually put other fruits as well for your overnight oats. Is this one of your favorite, I guess, recipes to make overnight oats?
Yes, I used to make overnight oats when I had my yoga studio business, and I did make like a banana version. So it is something that I haven't made in a while, but this gave me the opportunity to like retest the recipe and make sure it's all good.
Do you find that a lot of people in Belize here incorporate veganism into their lives?
It's becoming slowly more popular. I wouldn't necessarily say veganism, but at least consuming more plant-based.
Yes.
Because sometimes people think that plant-based and veganism are the same, whereas plant-based is more just a diet, and veganism is a lifestyle because it's about what you eat, what you wear, you know, what you purchase, things like that. So it's more than just a diet, whereas
Oh, I actually
plant-based,
never considered that.
yeah, whereas plant-based is just what you eat and
Okay.
just eating plants. Yeah.
All right.
So after this, we put in 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. So we have the measuring spoons, just to
Okay.
be exact. I used to sell these things, so being exact was really important to me, just so that there's a consistency to whatever I was selling before.
This peanut butter looks very fancy, Ashanti. This
It
does not
looks
look like a regular peanut butter that I'd get from the store. Is
Yes.
there anything special about this?
This is very special peanut butter because it's locally made here in
Ah,
Belize,
that
and it
makes
has
sense.
no chemicals, no preservatives. It is literally just peanuts and salt. So much healthier version of peanut butter compared to Jif and those other peanut butters that you'd find in the store.
I could see it just from the way that it looked, that it was no regular peanut butter. Okay, so there you go. And then you just mix it
So
in?
not as yet.
Okay.
So after the peanut butter, then we use the vanilla. We have a little bit of vanilla. So you want to put in about 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then we have, and then we can add the sweetener
So
as
this
well.
is where I just kind of eyeball it. I know
You can
by
eyeball
recipe.
it. Exactly. You can eyeball it. I'm very, I like to be precise. So
I just go until the ancestors tell me to stop.
and that's a fine method as well. You know, I think we each have like our own preferences to
Yeah.
how we make things. So,
All right.
and then we have cinnamon. So you want to put like a
Yeah.
1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in the jar as well.
So I'll just use one of this here. So what have you been up to since traveling a lot lately?
Well, I mean, I've been really transitioning into this industry that I am doing right now. There we go. So that's what I've been focusing on, really building Shanti Coaching, which is the name of my new business, and trying to just really put myself out there.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been up to, been working behind the scenes for months and months to launch this new career of mine. So that's what's been keeping me busy.
Well, that's fantastic. I think, though, one of the things that sparked my interest was that you said that your coaching is for women. Is there a
Yes.
particular reason why you centered it around women and their wellness?
Yes, the main reason is that, when women heal, families heal, communities heal, because we're the ones who are usually taking care of the family. And so I wanted to target women because we tend to be so disconnected from our bodies. And what I learned from my certification is just how important the foods that we eat have to do with everything that we do naturally. Even our menstrual cycle, and cycling our fasting and feeding windows according to our menstrual cycle can really make a big difference.
I could go on and on about this. That's a whole other conversation. But what's next on
What's next? We add the milk.
Okay.
And then we mix everything.
And the milk of choice we're using is obviously vegan friendly.
Yes.
This is soy milk?
This is soy milk, but
Okay.
if you're not into soy, you can use any other type of milk. You can use almond milk, you can use rice milk, whatever you'd like.
All right. And this was half cup
Yes,
of
half
almond
a
milk.
cup of almond milk or your non-dairy milk
Yeah.
of choice.
And then,
so we mix everything.
okay. So let's get in here. One of the things I can already tell you is when I made my overnight oats, it did not follow this order.
Yeah,
I just dumped everything and I was like just mixing forever because the oatmeal would not get soft enough. I think I probably added the oatmeal first.
Oh, yeah, you can do that, but it might just have a slightly different texture.
Yeah.
So you just want to really, really mix it well. Get it it won't be smooth like
Yeah.
a blender, obviously, but
It smells really good though. I can
Yes.
smell the cinnamon.
it should remind you of like the smell of banana bread.
Yes, it does smell kind of like that. Yes.
So once it's mixed well, then we add the last thing, which is the oats. So we have half a cup of rolled oats, and it's very important for people to know that it's old-fashioned oats. You can't use like the quick oats or use steel-cut oats. It has to be old-fashioned oats.
Okay.
So you just put this in.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then you mix
And
again.
then you mix everything all over again.
So, would you recommend this overnight oats for like a meal replacement? This is like a
Yes,
meal.
you can have it as an entire meal. I used to sell it and promote it as a meal.
Okay.
As like a hearty breakfast. And, with my new training and everything, I would recommend this for women who are in their what we call their nurture phase, meaning that it's the week before their cycle starts, where they need to consume.
Your luteal phase as
yes,
well.
it's that. Yeah, we just use slightly different terms in my training just to make it easier for people to understand. So the week before your cycle, you need more carbs so that your body can make
Don't I know it?
progesterone.
Yeah.
And so this is a bit more high carb, but like I said, you can swap the bananas for like berries if you want to make it a bit more low carb.
Usually you'd find that around that phase of your cycle, you tend to crave sweets and
Exactly.
pastas and all the yummy breads.
The body is so intelligent.
Yes.
That's the purpose. That's the reason, so we can make more progesterone.
All right. So there we have it. This is our overnight oats. And usually what happens from here is you store it for overnight.
Exactly.
And you get it back in the morning. It's supposed to be in the fridge, and so it's going to be cold and yummy
Yes.
and great for a meal. We didn't add any extra sweetening here because, as Ashanti mentioned, the banana is generally sweet as well. And so I think that should be enough. But if you would like to add some sugars, some honey, what would you recommend?
Well, for vegans, we don't do honey. So that's why I have like agave there, but you can do any other type of sweetener. You can add stevia, you can add maple syrup. Those are a bit more costly, but they will add a bit of sweetness if you're craving some more carbs.
right. Well-
and to see the finished product,
Let's
after
see.
you set it in the fridge, it gets to that consistency.
and it's
so it's nice.
thick.
It is thick.
Look
So
at that, guys. She's not going anywhere. Like, she is thick. But this is filling too. This is one of those
Yes.
meals where it looks like a little bit, it didn't fill the jar up, but you're gonna be full at the end for sure.
Definitely. And then once it's ready the next day, you can peel another banana. If you want it to be a bit more firm, you can do that. You can peel it, you can slice it, and then place it on top of the overnight oats if you want to have a bit more Instagram-worthy presentation of your overnight
you want to
oats.
romanticize that health journey. But this has been great, Ashanti. As we wrap up the conversation, for persons who would like to reach out to you to get some guidance on how to take care of their bodies and transition maybe into veganism or find out the benefits of fasting even, how can they do so?
You can reach out to me on social media. So you can find me under Ashanti A. Garcia on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, even on TikTok. So I have a new social media page for all of those things.
Fancy, all the socials. Well, if this wasn't motivating enough for you, we have a motivational quote this morning, and here's how it goes. The world offers you comfort, but you are not made for comfort. You were made for greatness. And that's from Pope Benedict the 16th. Beautiful, beautiful quote and beautiful motivation to transition into our next break. And when we come back, stay tuned because there's a hot debate and a hot take on if parliamentarians should be given a term period where they should be in the National Assembly. Get our take on it when we come back.